The Quad is one of the most consequential alliances of our times, but its battle has barely begun. It is in this backdrop that we must see America's naval operation near Lakshadweep. It came out of the blue, no indication, no diplomatic outreach. What does this mean for the democratic axis? More importantly, is it a setback in the battle against China? India and the United States are strategic allies. It is a partnership built on shared ideals like democracy, freedom of speech, rule of law. But today there is a new common ground, and that's security, especially in the Indo-Pacific, to tackle China's rise. Washington is betting on India to counter Beijing. This is reflected in America's policy realignment. It started with Donald Trump and has gained momentum under Joe Biden. It is vital that both sides see the bigger picture. This has been the case throughout history. Alliances survive as long as there is clarity on who the adversary is. Take a look at NATO. Since the Soviet Union's fall, it has struggled to define itself. The Quad must be wary of this. This so-called freedom of passage exercise was in simple terms unnecessary. It wasn't a message to India, but to China. Washington wants to stamp its version of free navigation around the world. Allies, adversaries, it doesn't matter. This move reiterates America's resolve. But at what cost? The South China Sea is a disputed region. There are dozens of claims and counterclaims. And don't forget, there is an active aggressor in the South China Sea. What about India's exclusive economic zone? It is not a disputed region. There are no ambiguous claims of sovereignty, and there is no aggressor here. We are talking about peaceful waters. So America's adventurism seems unwarranted. As allies, dialogue must be given priority. Differences have to be settled by diplomats, not warships. Small incidents can escalate fast. And this move could hand China the advantage. Washington needs to be wary of this. Think back to when Donald Trump was president. He was accused of abandoning allies. He wanted to pull out troops from Germany. He asked South Korea to pay up for US deployments. Joe Biden had some sharp words for Donald Trump back then. Now that he is president, Biden is promising change, but actions like this make you doubt his sincerity. The president was lauded for his push to convene a Quad summit. It was the first time leaders from the four countries met. But remember, as far as alliances go, Quad is still a newbie. It must be cultivated into an iron bond, and India has been more than willing to engage. New Delhi has been repeatedly committed to a free and open Indo-Pacific, repeatedly committed itself to the same, and more importantly, to freedom of navigation. Let me now show you the joint statement that was issued last month after the Quad virtual summit. It was signed by all four partners, including India. I'm quoting now. We support the rule of law, freedom of navigation and overflight, peaceful resolution of disputes, democratic values, and territorial integrity. This is the spirit of Quad as agreed by all leaders. It also featured in the phone call between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Joe Biden. Allies inform, they consult, and they act together. Without this joint spirit, alliances will exist only in name. America has taken a risk by wading into India's exclusive economic zone. Diplomats will most likely iron out the differences. But what about public opinion? On social media, Indians are not impressed by America's action. Domestic support is key to foreign alliances. They help leaders make long-term commitments without stirring emotions back home. A 2014 Pew survey found that 56% Indians held a favorable view of America. Washington cannot let that number drop any further. With this move, the US has also put other allies on notice. Japan, Australia, South Korea will all be watching closely. What is stopping US ships from repeating this elsewhere? The American intention was to send a deadpan message. ally or not, our worldview will prevail. But that is simply not how partnerships work, especially when it comes to a partner like India that respects international law.